What's up, everyone? Ryan the Bomb here, and welcome back to another episode of Job Stories. In the last episode of Job Stories, I've talked about my time with Schlotzsky's, the good things and the bad things, and if you guys haven't seen the video yet, it will be in the link in the description below. I suggest you guys check it out before you watch this video. In this episode of Job Stories, I'm going to talk about my time when I worked at an elementary school. Yes, really. Before I worked at an elementary school, I did a little bit of work for my uncle at his pool store, where I would go and hand out flyers at everyone's doors. And at the time, well, one of my biggest skills, one of my strongest skills, is typing really fast. And it's been a while since I took a test on how fast I can type, but I believe it's about 130 words per minute, which is really insane. And I thought to myself, hey, I could be a data entry clerk or something like that, maybe at a school. Because, when you work at a school, it'll look really good in your resume, and people like it when you work in a professional setting like a school. So I thought, hey, why not try it out? And so I would go ahead and apply at some schools, elementary schools, junior highs, high schools, and I would apply basically every job that involves data entry, like that involves a lot of typing. And I would even send them, proof that I can type 130 words per minute or more. And unfortunately, I get no luck on that. So, and I started applying at other positions besides typing, like playground aide. And funny enough, I got a call from one of the schools I applied for with the playground aide for an interview. And I was like, wow, really? Awesome, okay, I'll be right over. And I was like, wow, I might have a shot working at a school, even though my intent was to work in typing, but hey, this could help me get into a job at data entry, so sure, why not? And so the interview would be with the secretary, the principal, at the school, which, for the remainder of the video, I'm not going to say a name of. There's no reason for it. And she would ask me some questions, specifically about how I can handle kids. And I told her, hey, I got some little brothers at home that I take care of all the time, and they're not a problem, they're not hard to take care of, it's easy as pie. And she was actually happy with the answer, like she actually liked my answer right there, which made a lot of sense. And then, after the interview, she hired me. I'm like, awesome, thank you, thank you for the opportunity, thank you very much. And, I didn't want to be a playground aide, not really, it's not what I really wanted to do, but this could get me the step in the right direction to the point where I become a data entry clerk. So at the time I was really happy and really appreciative, like this is awesome, I'm gonna take what I can right now, so we'll see where we go from here. So my first day arrives, and this is around 4 years ago, around this time as of this recording, and the secretary, the principal, takes me outside to the playground where the kids go, of course, and I introduced myself to one of the playground aides, like, hey, I'm Ryan, nice to meet you. And one of the playground aides shows me around and kind of gives me the ropes of what to expect and all that. As one lady explains to me that we have to be really diligent with these kids, we have to make sure they don't fight or wrestle each other. And if they get a scrape in the knee from an accident, we just give them a band-aid, or if it's more than just a scrape in the knee, we give them a pass and then just go to nurse. And we have to make sure, we have to keep a very close eye on them, because there's 3 sections of the playground. So there's a big one and a small one, which grades 1 to 6 can play on. And then a little ways away from those 2 is the kindergarten playground, which only the kindergartens play on. And once in a while, one of us would have to go over there and watch the kindergartners and make sure they don't hurt themselves, because kindergartners constantly misbehave every now and then. So the kids would have their recess, in the morning, like all grades, and then once they're all done, we take our 15-20 minute break, which is a kind of a big break room, and I would just play against my phone, which I kind of liked. So I'll be doing that for 15 or 20 minutes, and then we would go outside again, because the kids are going to come back to the playground after their lessons or whatever. And, you know, second graders would come out first, and then the kindergartners go. And like I said, one of us has to go over there and watch them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then eventually, after second graders, you know, are done, first graders come, then third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And once all these grades are done their recess, they go on their lunch. And then basically once, you know, basically the rest of the grades are over with their recesses, we all go to the cafeteria because we have to go, you know, we do have to kind of watch them, make sure they're behaving the whole time. And also, you know, when the kids are done eating, we have to clean up the cafeteria, which, you know, it's kind of weird to admit, it really wasn't that bad. I find cleaning to be quite boring, but I actually didn't mind doing all the, you know, sweeping and mopping, which we had to do. We had to make sure all the floors and stuff were swept up, you know, mess free and all that, because kids like to make messes. And we would also have to go and fold up all the tables and put them on each wall, because we had to make kids, you know, to make room for PE for the kids. And we would be doing that for, you know, 10, 15 minutes, and, you know, it was, you know, I didn't mind it at all. It was kind of nice, honestly. And this is something we get to do for, you know, 3 hours, and honestly, I kind of liked it. Like, I really liked it. I mean, you know, being a playground aide, watching all the kids and making sure they're not hurting themselves or each other, and behaving the whole time, and also watching, you know, watching the kids in the cafeteria as well, and clean the mess, all the messes there, and all that stuff. I actually kind of liked it, actually. I mean, you'd think it'd be like annoying to deal with these kids, and I'd also too like, oh, this could be an annoying job, but no, not really. Another thing I forgot to mention, you know, because we were playground aides, we were also responsible for making sure the kids were safely crossing the road when they're done with school, which I never did, because I feel like if I screw up even just a little bit, it's gonna be a catastrophe from there. Like, what do you mean by screw up? Like, I don't know, like accidentally let some kid go for a minute, you know, because it's not like it's a small road, it's like a major road where the school's at. And I'm like, if I screw up, you know, I'm kind of done for. And also because I work at a school and stuff, you know, we would get weekends off and holidays, you know, it's like, I mean, hey, that's nice, you know. I mean, sure, teachers might not get paid well and all that stuff, but hey, they get weekends and holidays off, and so do we. So it was kind of nice. It really was. The funny part about working at a school was the fact that I was the youngest employee there, and at the time I was 18, and I thought it was weird and funny, the fact that, you know, me being 18 at the time, watching kids at the playground. I mean, it was kind of weird and funny, I thought, because, you know, like, I'm literally the youngest employee while everyone else is in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and all that stuff. And, you know, because I was a playground aide, some of the kids I was watching, they found it easy to have a nice talk with me. So there would be like a few 4th graders and 6th graders and even 3rd graders I would talk to, or talk to me. And, you know, while I'll be, you know, walking around and watching all the kids, because I don't want to lose focus, you know, yes, we would talk about video games and movies and all that good stuff. And you know, technically I shouldn't really be chit-chatting on a job, but, you know, socializing is good for you, so I don't mind socializing at work. But I do want to stay very focused, so that's why I do like yeah, one of them be standing next to me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I like movies too, like I like that movie too, and I still have to make sure all the kids are safe while I'm talking to this one kid or that other kid or something like that. The worst part about this job was the kindergartners. Yeah. There's a reason why I said I would sometimes watch them. Because there would be times where I just basically say I don't want to watch them or I just refuse to, even though I probably should just say yes every time. But they're a pain. Why are they a pain? Well, they constantly argue with each other, fight with each other. And, you know, because I understand, they're like 5 or 6 year old kids. I get that, but it's still annoying though. Like, holy moly. My little brothers behave better than these kids combined. Like, seriously, they do. And I'm like, come on, guys, you need, like, because they argue about whatever toys. I'm like, guys, you need to learn how to make up, or I have to put one of you in timeout. And I'm like, so I just avoid the kindergartners as much as possible. A small complaint I have is the fact that, you know, we were working 3 hours from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the fact that we were getting paid minimum wage. But other than that, you know, it was actually a great job. I really liked it. You know, I mean, you know, some of the other playground aides were great, and a couple of the kids were great as well. You know, it was a nice place to work at. I mean, there was no one expecting you to be better than everyone else, and I was happy for that. And you know, it's like just one of those nice jobs you get to work at. I mean, you don't really get to see that a lot nowadays in a lot of places. So, you know, hey, you know, this is the kind of job I looked forward to every day that I was there. Before I end this video, you guys, there's a couple of incidents I want to talk about during my time there. And I like to talk about the one time I had my belt break during work. So, I don't remember when this was. I was just doing my duty like usual, watching all the kids, making sure they're all safe and not fighting each other. And at some point in my shift, my belt started feeling a little loose, so I tried to adjust it. And then just one of the pieces snapped off. I'm like, oh shit. So I had to hurry up to the nurse right away because they apparently have backup belts, which they're ropes actually. They're just ropes, cheap ropes. They're very short. But they'll stay, they told me like, hey, you know, it's not gonna be very reliable, but it'll stay on as long as it can. Have to keep adjusting it every now and then. So I had to do that basically throughout the rest of the shift, because the last thing I would want is for my shorts to fall down and my underwear be exposed. I mean, that would be awkward, especially at elementary school. So just a weird day. So another incident I want to talk about. And you know, like I said, we have second graders come out first for recess, for the recess before lunch. And there's these like 2 or 3 special needs kids that come out, and there's this teacher aide that is around watching these kids. And she also watches a couple of 3rd graders as well when they come out. And I was in the smaller section of the playground watching all the kids, making sure everything. And then I kind of turned away, like looked away for like a couple of seconds, and then this aide's like you really need to learn how to do your job. I'm like, cause you need to watch these kids. I'm like, lady, I am watching these kids. I just looked away for like 2 seconds because I gotta look at these other kids too. And he's like I don't know how you do this, Ryan. I mean, you need to watch these kids. You need to learn how to watch them a little bit better. Like I am. And this bitch just thinking that, she's just thinking that I'm not doing my job good enough, which I am. It's not that hard, like watching these kids, like, cause I'll just stand still in one spot. I walk around like I know what I'm doing. She's just a bitch. And I'm thinking like, mind your own business, lady. Don't you have some special needs kids you should be watching right now? And I just didn't take her seriously after that, cause I knew I was right. And she was just wrong. And so my last day working there rolls around, and I would say a month or 2 prior to that, I applied some jobs at places like Walmart and Albertsons, because my intent was to work full-time, because part-time to me was just not enough. I want to make my money so I can save that money, and so I can, you know, put that money to my car and eventually to my house when I move out. So I want to work full-time. And also, you know, they asked me if I want to stay for our school year. I'm like, well, it'd be nice to, but I have goals, and I intend to work full time, and so I do not want to stay in our school year, but I really do appreciate working here for you guys. I mean, this is a great job I've had. And they're like, oh, okay, Ryan, well, we're gonna miss you once you leave. I'm like, yeah, me too, guys. It's a good job. And so I'm like, I'm working my last day, and around this day, I have to go to an interview for Walmart at, I believe it was 2 o'clock. So I'm just working like usual, just watching all the playgrounds and making sure all the kids are safe. And then by the time it's our time to go to the cafeteria, I'm like, well, I gotta go to my interview now because it'll be like an hour and I have to go. And I'm like, well, okay, Ryan, well, good luck. Like, good luck, Ryan. And I'm like, and I said, goodbye to all the coworkers. I'm like, I appreciate working with you guys. You guys are all great. And the kids I even talked to are like, bye, Ryan, good luck. We're gonna miss you. I just remember leaving that day thinking, this is one of the best jobs I've actually had. I mean, it wasn't boring. It wasn't mundane. I mean, sure, it will get a little hot, a little cold outside. Kindergartens make me a little annoying. And all that stuff, but other than that, I really like this job. I really did. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed like every minute of it. Would I do it again? No, probably not. I did have this funny thing in my mind, like, hey, what if 50 years from now, I decide to be a playground aide again, but not at this school, but at a school, at one of the elementary schools I actually went to when I was a kid. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think I'll do it again. I doubt I'll do it again. And so I leave the school on the way to the house, which is half an hour away. And since I didn't have a car, my parents had to take me to work and back. And so we had to immediately go to the house. I had to go change some nice clothes, and then go straight to Walmart, which is thankfully close to the house. And then, I show up at an interview. I go in. Any interview, which I will talk about in the next job story video. What do you guys think of this job story video? It's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, being 18 at the time, working at a school as a playground aide, it's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content. You have a good day, everybody. Ryan the Bomb out.